guys, it's Appleminte. Welcome back again to my channel. If you haven't noticed, I have a very slight addiction to doll collecting. You might have seen in my past video where I showed off my office space. Since that video, I have gained more dolls. So for today's video, I thought I would do something that I've been wanting to do again for a long time. It's been about 5 years since I last did a custom doll repaint. I have recently come across a bunch of the newer Monster High dolls. Today's victim of choice is going to be Draculaura here, and I'm going to be taking her and giving her a whole new face, a whole new look. So I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do, because I'm extremely excited to do this repaint. I also just want to take a quick moment to show you guys one of my samples from my newest Kickstarter and just let you guys know that there's less than 2 weeks left to sign up to get your own bag. Each of these converts into a over-the-shoulder bag or a backpack. They have an eat-a-bag window in the front that you can display any pins that you want to on them. They're all embroidered and they are all custom lined on the inside, so there is plenty of space to store your things. And if you could consider pledging or just share the project with anybody, whether it's on social media or people you know, I would really appreciate it. So go check it out in the link below. I will leave all the information in the description as well as in a pinned comment below the video. I also wanted to take a second to thank one of my subscribers for drawing my character Minty and sending her to me. As you can see, they did it all in marker, and then they mailed it to me. They go by Blakey Boo on Instagram, and I will link their information on the screen here so you can check them out and give them a follow. So anyway, let's get started with planning what I want to do with Draculaura's face. So I'm using Procreate to do this planning phase. Basically, I took a photo of the doll and then I deleted her face, essentially. Now, Draculaura is a very cutesy character, so I want to keep that vibe in my custom version of her. And as you can see, I'm giving her very big eyes, very big makeup, and I'm going to be changing the makeup just a little bit, but I want to keep the essence of it from this planning stage. But I want to keep pinks in her design because obviously she's got split dye with half of her hair being pink. And I also want to make sure that I want to keep the vibe bouncy and light and fun. So I also want to put some light blues, some purples, and my plan is to attach some glitter to her face as well. So this is the plan. And here is the doll stripped and ready to go. I have some things here to protect her because the last thing I want is to mess her up. I will be spraying her with multiple coats of a sealant. So to protect the doll, I'm wrapping her in plastic wrap and a bag around her hair. The first step before we start is to use pure acetone to remove the face that's already existing on the doll. We don't want that. So I find that pure acetone works very well. As you can see, I just barely touched it and a bunch of the paint came off right away. So in the past, I tried using acetone that wasn't 100% pure acetone. It was like a cheaper nail polish remover situation and did not work. It took me, I think, 30 minutes to remove the face. So this was a lot faster. And then I have a tin of watercolor pencils here. In my research, a lot of doll customizers like to use watercolor pencils just because I guess they go on very easily once you apply the sealant on the face. And I've also got some glitter, I've got a kneaded eraser, and I've got some high gloss varnish for certain areas like her lips and eyes. And this is the Mr. Super Clear matte sealant spray that I was mentioning earlier. This is very popular in the doll customizing community. I see a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people use it, and basically what it does is it both protects the layers of paint and pencil that you do, but it also provides some tooth to the doll because essentially the face is made of a rubbery silicone kind of material, and if you go in with pencils or whatever, it kind of doesn't work, right? You have to apply the sealant first so that you can build up a bit of grit on the face, and your pencils will almost feel like you're drawing on paper after a certain point of a few coats. So right now I'm just kind of blocking in her face. It's a little messy at the moment, just to kind of get an idea where I want everything to go. And once I apply another coat of sealant, which I do off camera, then I can start building it up a bit more. I'm going in with some chalk pastels that I've crushed up to make a blush for her. And I'm placing that on her cheeks and her nose. And I will do another coat or another dusting of it later. But after this part, I make sure to seal her face off camera again so that those details don't get messed up while I'm working, because the last thing I want is for her blush to just rub off when I, move my thumb on her cheek by accident or something, or I'm, working on other parts. So now I'm taking the pink watercolor pencil that I have, and I felt like this one was a little bit, streakier or harder to apply. Certain colors felt like they went on very easily, and it could have just been, I don't know where I was applying the sealant. Maybe certain areas were just easier to draw on, or maybe it was just the pencil. I have no clue, but I found that some of the parts of the eyes were a little harder to, define with the colors. But going in with the black pencil and after the fact helped to define the details a lot. So as you can see, it's already looking a lot better now that I've gone in and I've outlined her eyes a bit more. And I'm not too afraid of over applying black, just because she does have the split dye. Half of her hair is black, so I'm not too afraid of darkening the details, because I do find that looks a little better anyway in my personal experience. So I am going to give her black eyebrows, just because I think that's going to look better on her than pink or brown or something else. Unfortunately, though, I realized after I did these eyebrows, which, it's inevitable, but her bangs are going to be covering them up. So I was really happy with how they came out. And then I was like, oh, dang, she's not going to even show them. They're going to get covered by her bangs, but whatever. They have to be there regardless. For the little shinies in her eyes, I have some white paint that I went in with. And I find that works really well for just the opacity of it. It's very dark. It's very easy to see. And applying white colored pencil over it was not going to work. So that worked very well. And it was important to keep my pencils sharp. I found myself constantly sharpening these pencils, even if they look sharp. Like right now, this looks pretty sharp. It's not sharp enough. It needs to be sharper. Because I found that the finer the point I could get, the easier the color would go on. And also I wanted to get those really fine details. And every now and again, you'll see me go in with a Q-tip or a cotton pad. And some of these pastels and these watercolor pencils that I'm using are a little chalky and brittle. So at some points, they kind of crumble onto her face. And I want to prevent, smudging. So I try to remove them as quickly as I can. The eyelashes were very satisfying to draw on. The black colored pencil went on like butter. Like, as you can see, I'm barely having to work the pencil. So I made sure to do these lines very carefully, because the last thing I wanted was to overdraw them. And I tried to keep her face pretty symmetrical, as much as I could at least. Nobody's face is perfectly symmetrical for the most part. But yeah, the eyes are pretty much done here, as you can tell. I think there's just like a little bit of detail I'll end up adding later, but I think I do it off screen. And then for the lips, I'm keeping them pretty simple, just adding a little bit of definition with the black. And of course, we have to add Draculaura's signature vampire fangs, which I think kind of ties her lips together with her as a whole. I think it adds a little bit of a fun pop. And it's also partially the reason why I didn't want to do too much on her lips, because I knew I was just going to paint over large parts of it with the white paint. And now that I've built up a few coats of the Mr. Super Clear, by this point I think I'm at 4 or 5 coats on her face. Drawing the details on became a lot easier. So right now I'm going in and I'm doing a quick outline for the band-aid on her nose, and then coloring it in and adding some extra definition. So I think that came out really cute. I really like that detail on her. It kind of helps to fill up her face a little bit more. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to add some glitter to her face as well, and of course get it all over my desk, because glitter is the bane of all humans. And I've got a pair of tweezers here, and I'm just picking out individually the pieces of glitter that I want on her face. So in this case, I found these little stars, which I thought were perfect. And so I'm putting the largest pieces of glitter on the outer corners of her cheeks and working my way inward with smaller pieces which I believe I do off camera as well, just because they're so tiny that I had to get in so close. It was hard to film that. And now I am dressing her up so I can finally unwrap her after doing a final coat of the sealant, letting her dry, and I am going ahead and unwrapping her. So I'm brushing out her hair, and I have a whole bin of doll clothes. So I was kind of deciding, you know, how do I want to dress her? I want to match the vibe of her makeup, and I will preface this by saying that the outfit you see me put her in here is not the outfit I ultimately kept. I will show you that outfit in a moment, but I decided to keep this footage here because it was kind of like my process of like, what do I want to go with? What do I want to dress her in? And at first I thought this was cute, but then I just didn't really feel the jacket matched her bubbly pop makeup. I felt like it was a little too formal. So while this was cute, it was not the vibe. But overall, this was a lot of fun, and like I said, I have a whole bin of dolls that I could go through to do some more customizing, so very excited about that. I might do some in my own time, but if you want to see another video on those, let me know. And now I will show you a little showcase of what the final doll looks like. And there we have the finished product. I am super happy with how she turned out. She's super cute in my opinion, and I know that I kind of swapped her outfit at the last minute just because I wasn't really feeling the one that I had given her. This is a lot cuter in my opinion and matches the vibe of the makeup and the original vibe I was going for. So if you want to see me do more custom repaints, please let me know your opinions in the comments below, because I had a lot of fun with this and I have plenty more dolls to repaint if you can't tell. I'm not touching the ones in the top shelves, but some of those I wouldn't mind doing. Anyway, please check out my Kickstarter in the comments below, because I would really appreciate it, and I need all the help I can get to reach my goals. So until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!